Welcome back, friends, to another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Lids87 here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Tidus to see how worthy he is of your tickets and or gems. Before I do get into it though, friends, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button as it truly helps out the channel. Now, Tidus is going to be making a comeback with a rework, an LD weapon, and he is our next burst character. Tidus is a melee ranged hybrid attacker with debuffs built into his kit. Now, with his rework, he's going to be seeing changes to his skills, and probably the most important part, to his buff, Winning Spirit. Winning Spirit is a 3-turn duration buff, yes, it is quite on the low end of turns, that he grants it to himself at the start of the quest with his EX ability Limit Break passives, with the base version of his skill 1 Quick Hit, not the plus version, and his EX ability Energy Rain. Now, with Winning Spirit is, it is a stackable debuff, max stacks being at 3, where you can increase the stacks by 1 whenever a party member acts, but the stacks will be set back to 1 whenever an enemy acts. What this is going to be doing for the Typods is that this is going to increase his max rate by 80%, increase his brave damage he can deal by 10% per debuff on the enemies, up to 80%. Now, mind you that he can only inflict 3 debuffs himself. 4 debuffs if you equip them with an E-type bonus sphere like, what's his face? Laguna, which is a 30% max brave down, so that's 40% brave damage up. And just be sure to pair him up with other units on the team composition that can inflict even more debuffs or call actions just to take full advantage of that up to 80% brave damage up for Tidus, just allowing him to hit harder. What the Winning Spirit is also going to be doing for the Tidus is that this is going to increase his brave he receives from brave damage up to 20% depending on how many stacks you're at. Increase his stolen max brave overflow up to 20%. His skill 1 and skill 2 will upgrade, so skill 1 being quick hit plus, skill 2 is slash combo plus. Quick kick plus can be used at an instant turn rate that does not increase the turn count, so meaning he can attack immediately for free. And his slash combo plus, he will deal 50% HP splash damage to his enemies. Now, a new thing added into Winning Spirit is that whenever he attacks an enemy, this will trigger a follow-up attack called Shot once per turn. What this is going to do, this is going to Brave Heal Tidus by 70% of his attack, followed by a 2-hit range Brave plus HP attack, followed by an additional Brave Heal by 20% of HP damage that he deals. So if he is full on Brave, this is a great way to dump out that Brave, followed by an additional HP attack with Shot, with the Brave refund at the end. Now, he does grant himself some generic buffs, attack up and speed up, that are more potent, with Energy Rain 40% to attack up for 5 turns, speed plus 20% for 5 turns also, and with this slash combo plus, though he inflicts those 3 debuffs that I was talking about. 20% speed down, 50% attack down, and 50% defense down for 6 turns. So that 50% is not something to laugh about. That's pretty good in my own personal opinion. Yes, we do have more potent ones, but 50%, that's pretty good. Now, I do want to bring his additional ability to your attention, his buff Longer Slash, because you can do some pretty nasty things with his LD ability and being in his burst mode. What this does is, besides doing melee brave plus HP damage, this is going to extend his own existing buffs by 2 turns. Keep that in mind, as I'll further get into this as it comes into play with his Winning Spirit buff. Now, with his LD ability Slice and Dice, this is a 4-hit AoE Brave plus AoE HP attack executed twice, instant turn rate, gets stacked immediately. This will inflict all of his debuffs. This will extend his own existing buffs by 2 turns. Free ability use on the following 2 turns. Alright, now let's circle back to what I was just talking about with this additional ability. So what you could potentially do, use Slice and Dice, right? He gets to act immediately. You could go into his burst mode. The following 2 turns, he gets to use an ability for free. Additional ability, further extend that Winning Spirit. Then use Slice and Dice again, and then go back into using his additional ability during the burst mode. That's right, you don't have to do that, but again, this is just a tactic. So when you come out of his burst mode, he will have a lot of turns for Winning Spirit, meaning you will have a lot of uses of Quick Hit Plus, meaning he can use that back to back to back to back. Just be mindful that you don't run out. You don't run out of it, or you could be using slash combo plus constantly. Now, what you could do with this, you can pair him up with units like Core, right? He gets to act back to back to back. Core gets to act along with him before Tidus acts. If you're about to run out of Core's buff, just use /combo, let Core act, and put that buff back onto Tidus to allow him to keep attacking right before Tidus. Pair him up with Cloud of Darkness, a friend support Cloud of Darkness, because with her burst effect, that constant AoE damage. At least with her, you don't have to worry about reapplying that burst effect because it's a burst effect. So that means you can act constantly back to back with Tidus with that quick hit plus. Just a tactic that you guys could potentially abuse during the burst mode and his additional ability being used for free. All right, now back to his LD ability. Let me know what you guys plan with that, because that's very exciting. Now, with this LD ability weapon being equipped or just a passive, he gains a special effect permanently called Blitz Off, and this will tie in with his follow-up ability Shot. Now, Blitz Off is also stackable, max stacks being at 3, where the stacks increase every time Shot is triggered. Now, what this is going to be doing for Tidus, this is going to increase his attack HP damage up and his stolen max brave overflow by 20%. At 3 stacks of Blitz Off, Shot will upgrade to Jack Shot. This will cancel all the enemy's break status. He will brave heal by 70% of attack, 4 hit AoE ranged plus HP attack with 80% HP splash, brave heal by 20% of HP damage dealt, and all the stacks of Blitz Off will be consumed, just meaning you have to start all over. Just more damage for the Tide Pods. Now, with his LD boards, his debuffs will become framed. Beautiful. Slice and Dice, the brave hits will be increased at a higher potency and higher stolen max brave overflow. Shot, the follow-up, the brave hits will be increased by 1 with a slightly higher brave potency. With his burst weapon, his burst ability Blitz Ace, he will gain a 10-turn burst effect. Winning Spirit, while it's active, Shot will be triggered twice, meaning you're going to be gaining a lot of stacks of Blitz Off, meaning you're going to be triggering Jack Shot more constantly. This guy is going to be hitting a lot more often, but the party also receives some benefits. Plus 50% to brave damage up, plus 20% to the brave damage cap, and plus 20% to HP damage up as long as they're breaking a target or attacking a target that's already broken. Now, the main downsides to this, as you guys were hearing me with Quick Hit Plus, Tidus has the capabilities to act back to back to back. So if there is another unit that you want to take advantage of the 50% brave damage up, just be sure you don't burn through his burst effect. All right, just keep that in mind. And finally, with his call action /combo call, he's going to inflict those debuffs for 4 turns, and Slice and Dice, he's going to do the same exact thing, but there's also a caller effect for 3 turns that affects the entire party. This is going to increase the party's attack, stolen max brave overflow by 20%, and their HP damage they deal by 10%. We do have better call actions, but I will say, if you don't have some of these other call actions that decrease the defense on the enemies, this might not be a bad call action to add on your composition when you go into a stage. All right, friends, now we're at that portion of the video. Now, first and foremost, before I talk about his worthiness, I am going to be repeating this portion until Lufenia plus Era, because it's possible viewers can definitely miss this information. Is that a lot of these units coming out, they're great. They're beautiful units. They're going to be very strong. That being said, I do believe with that, I can be a little bit more harsher on these units, just to help us be a little bit more nitpicky on characters that are useful into the Lufenia Plus era, because Lufenia Plus is about 2 months away. But at the end of the day, friends, it is your stash, it is your resources. I absolutely go for your favorite characters, because that is the best way to enjoy the game. Why would I personally go for Zell if Stripperoth is my favorite character, right? I'm obviously going to go for Stripperoth just to enjoy the game that much more. Now, when it comes to the worthiness of Tidus, he is actually worthy of your resources. Now, first and foremost, there is no free multi-draw on this banner, so you will have to dip into your own stash. Now, Tidus himself, as you guys saw as I talked throughout the video, in my opinion, he is a very strong attacking debuffer type unit in Opera Omnia. Literally on the JP side of the game, I felt like he was the power creep during that time. Now, even with how worthy plus, I still believe that he is a valuable option to consider to adding onto your team composition. Now, outside of his burst effect, right, he has the capabilities to do follow-up damage with Shot. He has the capabilities to increase his brave damage up to 80%. 50% depending on how many debuffs you have on your enemies. That means he can potentially hit pretty damn hard on top of the 50% defense down, just allowing you to hit that much harder. With his burst weapon, with his burst effect, shot will be triggered twice, meaning more damage. There is party-wide benefits with the 50% brave damage up, further increasing his own freaking damage. And you guys saw that tactic that you could potentially take advantage of using the his additional ability, of course, after using his LD ability, right? Because 2 turns after, he gets to use them for free to further extend his winning spirit buff. Once you come out, just to take full advantage of that, and then pair him with units like Cloud of Darkness or Core, just to really, really lay the hurt on your enemies. Now, that being said, when we look into the Lufenia Plus era, and why I didn't really value him higher on my How Worthy Plus, is that attacking type units, they come and go. The main disadvantage that Tidus has going into the Lufenia Plus era is that he is not a Burst Plus character at the start. All right, he does make a comeback later down the line, about 7 months from now, as a Crystal level 90 character and a Burst Plus character, meaning he does have longevity. But in the beginning of the Burst Plus era, something to keep in mind is that when it comes to Burst Plus, quick explanation, when you realize a burst weapon, that's pretty much what's going to happen, how we've been doing with our EX weapons. You can realize your burst weapons, feed new types of ingots into it, and once you're at 3 out of 3, that character's finished burst can be used as an ability outside of the burst mode, meaning you can have the burst effect without using that character's burst mode, and then use the burst mode again just to further prolong the burst effect. So if you have multiple burst plus 3 out of 3 units on your team composition and use their finished burst ability, you can drastically increase the damage of your characters. So Tidus does not have that at first, so that's where some of these other potential units, like for example Zidane or Istola, or focusing back on attackers, Ace or Vayne or even Jekt, have that advantage over Tidus. That doesn't mean Tidus is bad whatsoever. As long as you pair him up with the proper team compositions, he should do just fine. And like I just said, he does make a comeback later down the line with his Crystal level 90, meaning his EX ability will get some love, and he's going to be hitting harder because of the new Crystal level passes increasing his brave damage. All right, so that being said, right now he is definitely worthy of your resources, and for some reason you can't pick him up now. He comes later down the line yet again. All right, friends, so that's where I'm going to leave Tidus at the end of the day. He's going to be a very powerful character, attacking type unit debuffer on my How Worthy Plus. That is it for this video, friends. I want to thank you guys for watching my How Worthy Are They Plus covering Tidus. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments your overall thoughts. Me, personally, I am going to be chasing after his LD weapon with tickets, and then I'm going to throw a lot of gems on the Setzer banner. That is probably the best banner to pick up Tidus's burst weapon on, because Setzer is a very powerful character in the form that he can give your party members a buff that gives them a chance to hit that maximum brave damage. So how you guys have been seeing with Core, with the rainbow damage, he can do that. So pair them up on the same team composition, Tidus is going to be hitting that much harder. All right, friends, so for me, tickets on the initial debut banner, followed by chasing with my gems on the Setzer banner. All right, friends, so again, all your wonderful thoughts down below, and until next time, friends, good luck and have a good one.